Omo I can eat white rice and stew 3 times in a day, 7 days in a week, 4 weeks in a month, 12 months in a year.
It is honestly one of my favorite meals ever. No matter how many times I eat it, I never get bored. So today, I decided to make white rice and stew with beans because I was seriously craving it. I had already started cooking the rice, and since there was light, I used my electric stove to cook both the rice and these beans so that everything would be faster and easier. I also added the eggs inside the beans to cook. Of course, I washed them very well before adding them inside the beans. By the time I checked the beans, the eggs were fully cooked, so I brought them out and kept them aside. While the rice and beans were cooking, I stepped out to buy fresh tomatoes for the stew, along with some spices. There is just something about using fresh tomatoes that makes stews taste so much better. Next, I started preparing the stew using my gas stove. I placed a pot on the stove, added some vegetable oil, and allowed it to heat up before adding sliced onion. I added the fresh tomatoes first and allowed it to cook for some minutes before adding the sachet tomato paste. Then I allowed it to cook. As it was cooking, I went on to check my rice and beans, and at this point they were ready. After the tomatoes were well cooked, I added my pepper mix and boiled eggs. Sadly, I don't know where this part of the video went because I couldn't find it while editing. After the stew has cooked for a while, I scooped out the excess oil because I don't like my stew being too oily. Then I added some seasoning cubes, some spices, and a little salt. I stirred very well to make sure everything combined properly. After that, I added some water, stirred again, and covered the pot so the stew could cook well. At this point, hunger had already started singing loudly in my ear, and my stew is not yet ready. One mind was just telling me to go and eat the white rice with red oil, but I said no way. I have to hold my throat so the thing will not fall because hunger was just shaking my body like tomorrow no day. At a point, I couldn't hold it anymore. I quickly dished out some rice and beans in my plate, patiently waiting for the stew. Since the beans were already done, I transferred the pot of stew to the electric stove to save my gas. After the stew was fully cooked and looking rich and tasty, I dished some into my plate of rice and beans, added one boiled egg, and guys, my cravings were completely satisfied. I enjoyed every single bite and it was totally worth it.